there is no one same lesson after another. When you were telling me that everything is personalized, it's not cookie cutter that Mrs. Smith gets the same thing as Miss Suvi. Everything is personalized, what my interests are and what I like, where I travel.
Suvi, thank you very much for being here with me today. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you from and where has life taken you?
Okay, well, it's good to be here, Lara. My name is Suvi. I am originally from Finland and I actually live in United States right now. I've been here over 20 years and I got here when I met my husband, the love of my life, over 20 years ago. And I moved here to build a life with him.
So you're Finnish, you have lived in the US for years, and now Italy is part of your plan. How did Italy first come into your life?
I want to go back to my late husband for a little bit. I lost him almost exactly 4 years ago. And that time was extremely difficult for me. But it also made me realize that what is my future without him going to look like? And it also made me realize that, kind of evaluate that what are the things that are now important to me. My whole family lives in Finland, my kids and my grandkids. I became grandmother 7 years ago, and I have 3, and 4th one is coming. So I started developing this deep desire to reconnect with Europe. And when I was thinking where, Italy was definitely the top one on my list. Gosh, once I made that decision that I don't want to stay here by myself, I want to reconnect to Europe, I want to get so much closer to my family, it was a very clear choice that my next chapter will be in Italy.
And what do you love about Italy? The country, the people, the language?
Gosh, there are so many things that I love about Italy. I think, first of all, Italian language, in my opinion, is the most beautiful language in the world. Even at the time when I did not understand any Italian, I love to listen Italian music and I love to hear Italian speak. The other thing, what is close to my heart, is history. I feel like the history is a living thing in Italy. Everywhere you go, you see old things. There is castles and just a beautiful art. And it's just filled with this visual history that I feel that is still alive. A third thing, what I really enjoy is Italy is a fairly small country, but it has so much diversity and variation what comes to the nature itself. And landscape, rolling hills, countrysides, you have the coastline, you have old towns, you have metropolitans, and it offers so much to anybody who goes to Italy, visits Italy, or lives in Italy. And then last but not least, the whole Italian culture and Italians, I feel, first of all, they're very fashionable. We could all learn a little bit from them. And the traditions and the values that they put, like a family, enjoying the moment. You call it la dolce vita, right? Just pausing when they feel like they need to pause. They have the courage to pause. It's just a beautiful way. I feel like people may be a little bit more connected to everyday lives and connections. I think that's something that speaks to my heart.
Now, picture your life in Italy 1 year from now.
Yeah.
What does a normal day look like?
I want to live a simpler life, more day-to-day connection to everyday life. In the morning when I wake up, I would probably open up the windows and hear Italian or Italy. I would walk to a local coffee shop and have my cappuccino. I would learn how to cook Italian dishes. I could see my family and my kids and my grandkids visit me on their vacations. And of course, learning Italian language until I'm completely fluent and making connections with Italian people as well. And I think the language is such an important part of that equation because when you move to a different country, I think it's your responsibility, if you want to be fully connected to the country where you move, to respect the fact that you at least are able to have discussions and do your daily things in the local language.
So, let's talk about the Italian. Did you know any Italian before we started? Have you tried to learn it before?
Yes, I was 18 years old when I learned Italian for 2 years, 1 hour per week. So that wasn't too much. And I really didn't have any possibilities to use Italian language because I was living in Finland. So really, when I started seriously studying Italian language, that was about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. But since 18 is pretty far from today, I want to start from scratch, or the mindset that I want to start from scratch, like I didn't know any Italian.
So, before you started with me, what were you worried about?
At the time I started to reach out to you, I was in a position that my passive understanding, Italian understanding, was much better than active speaking. My trips to Italy became more frequent, and I'm like, okay, I need to step up the game. And when I reached out to you, I was immediately convinced that this is a good fit. First of all, your approach was extremely professional, organized, and clear what you were telling me about the programs. And those are very important attributes for me when I hire a tutor and invest money on something that I want to feel comfortable with the tutor, and I want to feel that I'm getting my money's worth and the time's worth.
And now, what are our lessons actually like? What do we do together?
Okay, so first of all, there is no one same lesson after another. When you were telling me that everything is personalized, it's not cookie cutter, that Mrs. Smith gets same thing as Miss Suvi. Everything is personalized, what my interests are and what I like, where I travel. And that is so meaningful to me and has really, really helped me to stay motivated and put the time in. And then, Lara, your knowledge about Italy itself, the art, the history, giving tips on when you move to Italy, what type of things you need to consider. When I was traveling in Salerno and Vietre sul Mare, you were sharing me all kinds of valuable tips of special foods, and we were going through logistics in Italia, and the people too. What are the Italian people like, and what do they value, and what you need to be prepared to telling about me, because I think Italians are very curious people in a good sense, and they really want to know who you are and what is your background. And I was more prepared than ever for that type of questions. So variety, I love. I love the freedom of the topics. I love the fact that I'm giving you audio tapes and you give me feedback, the pronunciations and words, and they're just very multi what we have been going through. And if I may say, what was my favorite session so far? It was definitely the discussion of Pinocchio and how Pinocchio, many people think that Pinocchio is just a children's story, but it is so much more. And the way you were explaining to me and the way we were studying what Pinocchio means, how it relates to Italian history and Italy becoming independent and unifying Italian people from different regions, the language, the education, the importance of hard work and education. It was my favorite things, very interesting.
Now, Suvi, the honest part. What has been the hardest thing about learning Italian as a busy adult? You are a professional, you are a photographer, you travel a lot, also for your job.
So for me, I am very committed and willing to put the work in. Talking, it's just, it's something that I continuously try to overcome. And I know I will get there. It's just more challenging than when I was young. I have the time and willingness to put the work in, but that is an area definitely that I need to continue working on.
So here is one I really want to ask. A lot of people say, I would love to learn Italian, and they never start. What would you say to them?
Don't think about it twice. I know everybody learns on a different pace, but it's such a rich journey. And when you get to the point that you start picking up the pieces and understanding and having conversations or talking or just the little things. It's so rewarding. Now, Europeans are maybe a little bit more open learning different languages because we have to. We don't get by in the world with Finnish or Swedish. We have to learn Italian. But I would just say that go for it, give it a try. I think everybody, if they put the work in and are willing to study, it's a very rewarding journey.
The Italian you are learning right now is the language you will soon be living in. How does that feel?
I cannot wait the day when I speak fluently, and I know it's coming eventually. I think that's a key piece when I moved to Italy to become part of the community and build relationships, because not everybody speaks English, and you cannot really expect that everybody speaks English regarding where you live your life. But I'm excited about reaching the point that I can sing Italian and I can speak Italian fluently.
That was wonderful, Suvi. One more thing before we stop. Is there anything I did not ask you that you would like to say?
Oh, no. Well, maybe when I moved from Finland to United States, I thought I was speaking good English. But oh my gosh, did I get a wake-up call? So I think that may be some fear that some people may experience. But if you just allow yourself to go for the flow, it'll all be good. I'm making this big change in my life, and I'm super, super excited about it, but also kind of honoring what I have experienced now until now. And I hope the Italy journey will allow me to grow to something new.